Hey guys, let me sit you up here. Let's see here. Okay, I hope I'm not too far. Anyway, story time. This happened many years ago. For those of you who knows, I am a widow, and I have this very close friend that she has been trying to set me up for whatever reason. And she's married, so I thought, she, as a friend, she loves me and she wants to see me with a husband, I guess. I don't know. Having a husband don't mean you're going to be happy, but I guess she's happily married, so she wants the same for me. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so she been asking me, my husband have this friend, he's a very nice guy, he's I think she said he's a counselor for people in prison. And I said, okay, but I wasn't interested. I said, no, I'm not interested. And she was, every now and again she come back with the same topic. Why don't you just meet him? Let me give him your number, blah 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 blah. I'm like, I'm not going to call her name, but I'm like, no, I'm not interested. So I guess her husband I was looking, let me back up. I had just purchased a home. I was living in Georgia, and I just purchased a home, and I needed to get a car because my car was old. I could not purchase a car while I'm in transaction of purchasing a home. So while I closed on the home and moved and all that, I was looking for a car. Back in those days, minivan was very popular, and my kids were young, and my mother was alive then, and she was living with me. So I figured, a minivan will be perfect for my family. And in conversation with her, I told her, yeah, I want to get a minivan, and blah, 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 blah. And then, because she had a minivan, and I was asking her about it. She said, well, my friend, the guy that my husband friend, he got us a good deal because this person owned the dealership. Maybe he could help you. So I'm like, okay, give him my number. So he called me. And in talking to me, he's like, yeah, you need a minivan. I can take you to my friend. He can give you a good deal and whatever. And in conversation with him, he started asking me like, do you like movies? And now I'm like, okay, I want to talk about minivan. You want to talk about movies, okay? So I said, because I really didn't want to give him any hopes that I was interested, because I really wasn't interested. And I knew, when you start talking to someone, even if you haven't met them, I think we know if it could possibly go anywhere. Conversation was boring. I wasn't interested. And so I said, actually, no. I mean, I like movies, but I don't go to the movies because I work 3 jobs. And anywhere I sit for too long, I fall asleep. So it's no point of me going to the movies because I will fall asleep, which was true. So he said, okay. He said, well, when are you ready? You want to go Saturday? I said, okay, Saturday. I said, where is it? And it was far away because I lived in Snellville at the time. And this was, I think, it was further south. I don't remember where it was, but it was further south. And so, before that. So when he asked me about the movie, and I said no, and he continued to talk, he said, well, I'm legally blind. And it kind of, because I wasn't paying too much attention, but it kind of hit me like a few minutes later. I said, wait a minute. Did you say you're legally blind? He said, yes. And then I said, well, how are you going to invite me to the movie if you're legally blind? And I came off kind of, I thought I came off kind of rough, maybe, or not nice, but I didn't mean it that way. But I was like, what? It caught me off guard because my girlfriend didn't tell me that. So I was like, what the hell? Why would she not? That's the main thing. And she didn't tell me. I said, okay, let's go on with this minivan thing. You know, after I get my minivan, I'm sorry, but you're not paying for it. So I appreciate if you give me a good discount, but it's nothing gonna happen here. Anyway, so I was supposed to meet him that Saturday morning, pick him up, and drive out there. And I'm like, okay. So anyway, he said, I picked him up, and he had a guy I don't know who he was, but he kind of walked with him until he got like close to my car, and then he kind of stand back and he walked. And I noticed he didn't have a cane. And I said, okay, maybe he didn't have a cane because this guy, you know, was walking with him. So anyway, I said, okay. And so I'm asking him, back in those days, I don't think we didn't have cell phones. We had beepers. And so I would use, like, what did I used to get around in those things? I can't remember what the heck I used to get around, but we got around. We found everything. So now he is telling me, he is giving me direction as to where this place is by memory. I'm like, what? And he said, well, at the corner they're going to be a store, and then they're going to be a 7-Eleven, and I looked there, and that was a lot, nothing. So he was giving me memory from the last time he had vision, which I think he lost his vision like 10 years before. You know, 10 years, a lot of stuff changes, a lot. Anyway, we found the dealership. Oh, before that, when I agreed to meet him the following day, he said, well, how about we having breakfast? And then, you know, the dealership is right there. It's IHOP, and then the dealership is right close to the IHOP. We can just walk over. So I said, okay. Well, when he came to my car, I was looking at a distance to see whoever it was that walked him and stayed, you know, a certain distance, and then I guess they tell him just walk straight. So I'm like, what? So he got out, he opened the car door. I guess he could see. I think legally blind mean that you can see certain things, but you're not like black, you know, like vision. So he opened the car, because I remember I didn't get out to open the door. He opened the car door. I was in shock. This man looked like Sanford. You know, like Sanford and Son? He was Sanford. And I'm looking at him, and I'm getting pissed off with my girlfriend because, first of all, the man is legally blind. He needs somebody to take care of him. I'm already have enough on my plate. I have my elderly mother living with me, which I'm taking care of her. Why would you want to add somebody else for me to take care of? You trying to kill me? So I was like, what the hell? I'm looking at this man, and he's Sanford. He's Sanford. I was like, what? I started thinking, my girlfriend don't like me. She's looking for a nurse for this man, and she don't give a crap about me. And you know, all this stuff is going through my mind, and I'm getting angrier. And he's talking, and I'm like, in my mind, I don't want to talk to you. You know, this, I'm not necessarily angry with him because he told me he was legally blind. But she, and I was younger then too. But even if I wasn't, I'm not trying to find. If I'm with someone and they get sick, yeah. But I'm not going to look for someone to take care of. I took care of my mother for 17 years. I don't want to take care of anybody else. And call me selfish. I don't think I am, but I don't want to. So we got to the dealership and he was like, well, let's go eat. I was so turned off. When I tell you turned off, I could not possibly go and eat with this man. The idea of sitting across from him and eating, it was, no, I couldn't do it. So I said, I already ate. I didn't, but I couldn't. So I said, well, I'll take you to the IHOP and then I'll go to the dealership and start my paperwork and I'll come back and pick you up. So he said, no, you don't have to come and pick me up. I'll find it. I said, I don't mind. I'll come, because he didn't have a cane. I said, no, I don't mind. I will pick you up. And he insists. I guess it's pride. Now, this man was clean. He had on a nice white shirt, long sleeve, button down. He was very presentable. Okay? He was dressed nice, but he was Sanford, but he was dressed nice. And I said, I don't mind picking you up. You know, he insists, and I think that was his pride. So while I'm filling out the paper, like 30 minutes, 40 minutes passed, I saw him walking, and when I saw this man walked into the dealership, he was dirty. He got mud on him. He was dirty. And I'm like, what happened? And he said, I fell in a ditch. Oh my God. I'm getting even more angrier with my girlfriend. I was like, what? He said, I had a hard time getting out. I was like, I'm going to tell her a piece of my mind. I was like, are you okay? And he said, yeah, I'm okay. You know, and I said, you know, I look at him, I say, you know, I don't see any blood or anything, but. So, that happened. I put in for my car. I had to, you know, come back another day, pick it up, whatever. And so, the car deal that he was bragging about, this car dealer, he was not his friend. He was somebody that he purchased a car from a while back, and he sent people to this car dealership. So, and I don't know what agreement they had, if they would give him a good deal, if he sent other people. But the deal that I got, I could have got it with anybody else. It really wasn't a good deal. I mean, it was an average. I didn't need him for that. I could have done that on my own, and I wouldn't have to go this far. I could stay right there in Snellville and, you know, whatever. So, we drove back home. I put him on a train. Again, I'm concerned because this man have no cane. And I think it's pride that why he wouldn't have a cane, because he certainly needed to walk with a cane. But anyway, I don't know what kind of arrangement he had for him to go back home, but I took him. He said, okay, drop him at a train station, where I picked him up. I did that. So after I drop him off, I'm like, I'm gonna calm down before I call my girlfriend. because I'm really upset with her. First of all, she wasn't looking out for me. Oh, this is the next thing he told me. He said that he liked to read. He loved to read, and since he lost his vision, he can't read, and he really wants somebody to read to him. And I'm listening to this man, what he needs, because he's telling me what he needs. And I'm like, I didn't say anything to him because I know, he's just trying to find someone. I'm pissed off with my girlfriend. So I said, after I drop him off, I said, you know what? Before I call my girlfriend and say something that I'm going to regret, I would better wait until I calm down. So I went home and I told my mom about it. She thought it was funny. I said, if this man had fell into a ditch and fell where he couldn't get out, I have no idea where he was. But the person that brought him could say, this is a person that I left him with. They would be questioning me as to where this guy was. And I wouldn't have any idea that this man is in a ditch and had a hard time getting out. He said he had a hard time getting out. I didn't even say how you managed to get out, because I was furious and steaming, not at him, but at my girlfriend. So I said, I'm going to wait until I calm down and cool off. And, she didn't call me. So it was unusual because, us women, if we set somebody up and we know they, supposed to meet, they're like, hey, what do you think? I didn't get any of that. So I beginning to question her friendship as to why would she think. First of all, she keep asking me about it, and I keep telling her I'm not interested. And when the car stuff came up, and she said that you could have gotten me a good deal, which I felt like I was set up. And I felt that she didn't give a crap about me. She wanted him to get somebody to take care of. And I guess she see like, maybe I'm a good caregiver. But no. Why would you do that to your friend? So I wait the following day. I called her and I said, let's call her Joanne. I said, Joanne. She said, yes. She's still not asking me how did it go. I said, do I seem desperate to you? She go, no, what do you mean? I said, you wanted to introduce this man to me for months. You've been telling me about this guy. And the most important thing is you didn't tell me that this man was legally blind. Do you think that was something that you should have told me? He's such a nice guy. I don't doubt it. But you know that I take care of my mom. You want me to take care of somebody else? Do you want to kill me? I am already stressed out. I work 3 jobs. What are you thinking? I says, and besides, he's old. He's Sanford. He did look like Sanford. I said, he's old. Why would you do that? And I told her what happened. I said, why would you put me in that situation where this man could have actually got hurt? Why would you put me in a situation like that? And besides, the discount that he's talking about, I could have probably talked them down to less. It was not anything that said, oh, well, I got a good no, I could have gotten the same or less or more discount. I say the point is, this man needs someone to take care of him, to read to him, because he told me he likes someone to read to him. He even told me kind of food he likes, so he wants to cook. And you, out of all the person that you know, you thought I would be the best fit for this? Really? She go, he's, my husband. I really didn't know him that much. It's my husband friend. Well, you didn't tell me that. You said it's your friend of both you and your husband. And he was a nice guy. You certainly didn't tell me he was legally blind. This is the stuff that you would tell me. And I was not interested in the first place. The only reason I agreed to meet him is because you said you're going to give me a good, he knew someone that owned a car dealership, and that I was going to get a good deal on my minivan. But the deal that I got, I could have gotten it without him. This dealership, this guy, he's about business. I mean, they'll take it down a couple of thousands when you go to the dealership. I could have gotten that without him. I didn't need him for that. My point is, I couldn't believe that you would set me up like this, because I feel set up and I feel disrespected. I mean, why would you do that to me? She didn't say anything else. And I said, I gotta go. And I hang up. And I didn't talk to her for about 6 months. I was very upset. And I did mention it to another friend of mine, and she agreed with me. She said, you don't do that. You say you love this person. I know her. I know her husband. I know her children. She knows my mother. She knows my children. She's been to my house. We break bread together, and you do this to me? So all this time you claim that you love me and is a friend, and I'm a good friend, and I knew her mother, because her mother also stayed with her. And you... Okay. I'm done. So after that, I don't allow anybody else to try to set me up. Don't try to set me up, because first of all, you don't know my type. You don't know. It's not even about type. Don't try to set me up. I am not interested. Anyway, after that, I was like, she scarred me for life. She scarred me for life. But anyway, that was that. Whew. I don't know. But he was definitely a Sanford lookalike. Definitely. Anyway, guys, that's my story time. And yeah. So see you in my next video. All the stuff, thumbs up, share video, all of that good stuff. Come back to my channel, help me grow this family. And yeah, so peace.